Hi PES, it's Dr. Noel and I'm here with another Principals Read Aloud for the month. And I have a special book I want to share with you today for Disabilities Awareness Week. And this book is called Just Ask. It's written by Sonia Sotomayor and it's illustrated by Rafael Lopez. And it says, be different, be brave, be you. And there's a note from the author inside the book that I want to share with you before we get started. It says, a letter to readers. I was born on June 25th, 1954. And in 1961, when I was 7 years old, I was diagnosed with juvenile diabetes. To take care of myself, I had to do things other kids did not. Sometimes I felt different. When kids saw me giving myself a needle shot of insulin, my medicine, I knew they were curious about what I was doing. But they never asked me, my parents, or my teachers about it. I also often felt they thought I was doing something wrong. As I grew older, I realized that there are many ways to be, that I was not alone in feeling different. I wanted to write this book to explain how differences make us stronger in a good way. Like my experiences with diabetes, the challenges some kids face can be very hard and sometimes frustrating. Some of us have conditions that require medicines or tools to manage things that other kids never have to deal with. Some of our difficulties are not even visible to others, but they make us feel different, and we may do things that others don't understand. Yet all of these challenges often give us strength that others can't even imagine. I hope by seeing yourself or your friends in this story, you will understand that we're all different, and you will find the notion comforting and empowering. We hope, too, that you will recognize what we have in common. Instead of fearing our differences or ignoring them, we can shed light on them and explore them together. If you ever wonder why someone is doing something different than other kids, just ask. Sonia Sotomayor. And there is the letter to readers. All right, here we go. Hi, I'm Sonia. My friends and I are planting a garden. Gardens are magical places. Thousands of plants bloom together, but every flower, every berry, and every leaf is different. Each has a different smell, different color, different shape, and different purpose. Some flowers need lots of sunlight. Others thrive in the shade. Some have to be trimmed regularly while others are better off left alone. Some trees and flowers are more fragile and others are more hardy. Kids are all different too. Some of us are in a hurry and others take more time. Some of us seem shy and quiet while others are chatty and loud. Some of our differences are easy to spot. Others take longer to notice. Each of us grows in our own way. So if you are curious about other kids, just ask. Not everyone is comfortable answering questions about themselves, but I don't mind. What am I doing? Several times a day, I prick my finger to measure the sugar in my blood, and I give myself shots of medicine called insulin. I do this because I have diabetes and my body doesn't make insulin naturally like other people's. Even though this can sometimes hurt, I gather all of my courage to do it to be healthy. Do you ever need to take medicine to be healthy? You can see her giving herself a shot right there. So lots of people take medicines in different ways. I do. My name is Raphael, and I have asthma, which means I sometimes have trouble breathing. When that happens, I take a break and use an inhaler with medicine to make breathing easier. Quiet time helps me slow down and catch my breath. My inhaler is a tool to use to help my body. Do you use a tool to help your body? Do you know anybody with asthma? I'm Anthony, and I use a wheelchair to get around. Even though I can't run with my legs, I can go super fast. How do you get from place to place? So kind of like the author said in her letter, some people have challenges that we can see with our eyes. So if someone's legs aren't working properly, they might be in a wheelchair like Anthony, and that's something you can see. My name is Madison, and my guide dog Lucky helps me get places safely because I'm blind. My friend Arturo is blind too, and he uses a cane to get around. Even though we can't see, we strengthen our other senses and notice lots of details that others may miss. We can hear with our ears, smell with our noses, and feel with our hands. How do you use your senses? So here are Madison and Arturo, and there's her beautiful guide dog named Lucky. And you can see Arturo's cane that he uses. Have you ever seen a blind person walking with a guide dog or someone using a cane? I'm VJ. I learn about the world differently because I can see, but I can't hear. I'm deaf. Most of the time, I communicate with people using my face and hands through sign language. It's cool to know another language. I also love reading and writing. What about you? Do you know anyone that uses sign language as a way to communicate? Sometimes people have a hard time communicating. They can use sign language. Other times people use it because they can't hear at all, and so they use sign language. I'm Bianca, and I have dyslexia. So I have to work really hard and take my time when I'm reading and writing words. Sometimes I use computer programs to help me. I love learning by doing things. My imagination is full of ideas, and I'm very good at making art from the pictures I see in my mind. Are you really good at something? So dyslexia makes it tricky for reading and writing. Sometimes it looks like the letters are reversed or the words are reversed, or sometimes numbers can be reversed. And it makes it really tricky to understand things. I'm great at dinosaurs. I know all about them. I'm Jordan, and I have autism. Organizing and counting all my toy dinosaurs again and again makes me feel calm. My classmate Tiana also has autism, but it's different for her. She doesn't talk, but I like to talk. I especially like to talk about dinosaurs. What do you like to talk about? Do you know anyone with autism? And we're finding out through this book and through our friends that we already have that people are dealing with all kinds of different issues, and they also have lots of different strengths. So something that somebody might be good at, I might be terrible at, and something I might be really good at might be super hard for one of my friends. For me, listening comes more easily than talking, and I'm a really good listener. My name is An, and I speak with a stutter, so I sometimes repeat a word or get stuck when I try to say it. It makes me take a little longer to express myself, and sometimes I'm too shy to talk, but I understand everything that's going on. Do you ever wonder if people understand you? So stuttering can be hard if you're repeating a letter or a sound or parts of a word or even a whole word. Sometimes people don't feel like they want to say much because they're worried about their stuttering. And sometimes going to speech can help with that. Sometimes just time helps that get a little bit better. There are lots of famous people who could be actors and singers, people who use words every single day in their profession, who also have overcome their stutter. I know somebody who had a terrible stutter when he was younger and overcame it, and that's our president, President Biden. He's talked about the fact that he used to stutter. My name is Julia. Sometimes I wiggle or make sounds that I can't control because I have Tourette syndrome. People may look at me funny because they think I'm not paying attention or just acting out, but it's not true. I am listening. I don't always like having to explain. It frustrates me, but it helps when I tell people that it's just what my body does. Do you ever feel frustrated? So it can be hard for people when others don't understand what they're going through, right? If they think they're just being silly or maybe being disrespectful. But sometimes our bodies do things that we really can't control, and that can be hard. My name is Manuel, and I have attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. It's also called ADHD. I can get frustrated when I really feel the need to move around, even though I'm supposed to sit still. When my teachers and friends are patient with me, or if I forget something or get distracted, I can get myself back on track. What's helpful to you? And again, all of us have strategies that help us do better or learn in different ways. And so people who have a disability, whoops, sorry about that, forgot to turn off my walkie-talkie. I was saying that people who are dealing with disabilities of different kinds really have to compensate in other ways. And so they find ways to find success, and that's a really positive thing. I'm Nolan. It's helpful to me when the food I eat has a clear label that says it's nut-free because I'm allergic to nuts. They can make me so sick that I would have to go to the hospital if I ate any, even by accident. So I always tell people about my allergy and ask if any food has nut ingredients. Speaking up keeps me healthy. How do you use your voice? So certainly anyone, and I'm sure we all know someone who has an allergy to something, but certainly people who have these severe allergies really have to use their voice to speak up to make sure that what they're putting into their body, what they're eating, isn't going to harm them. I know we have lots of kids at our school who suffer from allergies, and we have to be careful, especially if we're giving out snacks or treats or different things, to make sure that we have something that is healthy for everyone in our school and won't cause anyone to get sick from their allergy. I love to sing and I love to talk. I love to make new friends and be included. I am Grace. I was born with Down syndrome. Kids like me with Down syndrome have an extra building block called a chromosome in our bodies, but we are all different from each other too. I can do almost anything any other kid can do, though learning new things can take some time. One way I learn is to ask questions. What helps you learn? So this page is talking about people with Down syndrome, who are born with Down syndrome. Hi, it's me, Sonia again. I ask questions too. When something seems different or new, I just ask my parents or my teachers, and they help me to understand, especially if my friends don't feel ready to explain. This is what I've learned. Imagine if all of the plants in this garden were exactly the same. Like, what if we could only grow peas? That would mean no strawberries or cucumbers or carrots. It might also mean no trees or roses or sunflowers. Just like in our garden, all the ways we are different make our neighborhood, our whole world really, more interesting and fun. And just like all of these plants, each of us has unique powers to share with the world and make it more interesting and richer. What will you do with your powers? So we all have powers of our own that are different than our friends. What will you do with yours? On the back it says, each of us grows in our own way, which is so true. I hope that you enjoyed this book called Just Ask. Again, we are reading this book and sharing this book this week for Disabilities Awareness Week. We want to call attention to all of our friends at PES, in our neighborhoods, and in the world who are different, right? We're all different from each other, and we're all really special in different ways. I think the main message of this book is to really recognize that everyone has strengths. And the second thing is to let you know that it's okay to ask questions. If you see something you haven't seen before, or you see someone doing something a little bit differently than you, as long as you're asking in a respectful way, you can ask the student, you could ask the teacher, you could ask a grown-up around you if you have questions about that. And that's how we learn and become more accepting of each other. So I hope you enjoyed this book. I hope that you enjoy the activities we have planned this week for Disabilities Awareness Week and Inclusion Week, and making sure we're including all of our friends at PES and making sure that all of us have a great experience while we're here at school. Have a great day. Thanks for watching.